Hey everybody, this is Tyler, aka Grand Lethal 16, coming at you with another voice actor interview. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Danielle McRae. I'm a voice actor for anime and games like Magi the Kingdom of Magic, Neptunia Victory 2, Skullgirls, I'm blanking now, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, and a whole bunch of others.
So everything. Nice.
A lot of stuff.
Oh yeah. So tell me, how did you find yourself at AkiCon this weekend?
Well, a friend of mine, my work, he told me about this event and how this was their last year. So I pretty much reached out to the con and saw if they needed some more guests, and they came up to me like right away and they gave me the paperwork and said, "Hey, we need you. Let's come on out.
Awesome.
Let's make the magic happen."
And then from where you are in your career right now, you've done some pretty big voices, and you're in a number of games that are PC giants. I mean, between Skullgirls, WoW, League of Legends, all kinds of big stuff.
Oh,
Did you ever imagine this level of success when you were just starting out?
Ooh, so when I first started out, I was expecting nothing to really happen the way it did. So when my first game was League of Legends that I bought, and then it was pretty much like next month World of Warcraft happened, and the next month it was Skullgirls, and I thought something like this is super rare because most of the time, most voiceover actors, it takes them years to get to like work on like big stuff like
Famine
that.
or feast.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're like, wow, this is really picking up. I better like take this serious. This is legit.
Yeah, well,
This is
I got really scared because I didn't think that was something that was normal. And something like that is not normal. It's very rare to book something like that like over and over for like the span of like a month and after a month later. So it was definitely a rarity, but I had to know how to accept it and just keep working, just keep pushing through.
cool. What impact do your fans have on your career and where it's going from where it is right now?
Right now, because when I first started out, I didn't expect any of the conventions or anything like that. That was something I didn't really think of, like the cons actually reaching out to me and said, "Could you come out and speak for a convention?" And it's a huge outpouring of love. I really greatly appreciate the fans and all their love and support for everything that I do and all the new projects. Whenever I announce something, it's like nothing but love, and I love it.
Has there ever been a particularly easy role, one that just you organically just seemed right into? It didn't really take a whole lot of prep. It just, that's me.
Ooh, so there's a little game called Neptunia, Megadimension Neptunia Victory 2, where I voiced both S-sha and E-sha. Pretty much like the parody to Squaresoft and Square Enix. And since I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy, when I booked that role, the director pretty much said, do you know of Final Fantasy? And I said, I know of Final Fantasy. I played all of Final Fantasies. So the direction was be more lightning, be more squall, be more cloud. And that was pretty much my straightforward direction. That was probably the easiest.
Oh, I
to
bet.
delve into.
Oh, yeah. Has there been any notably difficult role or one that took a little bit more challenge or that really made you like, oh man, how am I going to do this?
Oh, yeah. Well, both World of Warcraft and Skullgirls. So World of Warcraft, I voiced a character named Hagara. She's an orc. And their voice is very like this, kind of like Painwheel. They both Painwheel and Hagara for both of those games are very challenging because their voices were completely different than mine. I pretty much had to go into their mindset, and for Painwheel it might have been harder because it took me about a good couple of weeks to get out of that character because she was in a very dark place. And so it was hard for me with Skullgirls just to get out of that character. But yeah, they both have their challenges. Mostly the voice. I lost my voice for both of them. But hey, it's kind of a badge of honor.
That being said, what are your go-to throat vocal cord remedies? What do you use? Lozenges? Do you have anything you go for?
Yeah, the one that I go for the most is there's a lozenge called it's a Chinese throat syrup called Ninjiang Peipa Kwa, but in the industry we call it hope juice. Hope juice. So because it's supposed to coat your vocal cords, so it's really good to use before you have really yelling and screamy sessions because it's still going to be hard, screaming and everything like that, but it's supposed to coat your vocal cords so it doesn't get too dry. And it's a nice remedy to use before and after a session.
So it's preventative and, restorative.
Yeah, and it tastes really good. It tastes very good. It's very honey.
We're going to use this footage for a commercial now.
It's
awesome
get
before
your
after.
Ninja on PayPal, you guys.
Yup.
Hulk juice, get your Hulk juice now.
Yep.
There's actually actual cough drop looking versions of them, so you can actually just kind of put it in your mouth and just
chill.
let it go.
That's
go.
awesome.
Yeah.
They might call you. They might call you and be like, hey, you know.
If you need somebody.
And then how do you convey emotion when you're in the booth? I've heard that there's like a boom and there's a hanging mic, and the sound engineer hates it if it gets hit because then they have to kind of readjust, right?
Yeah. Well, before we record, we always have an engineer that adjusts the mic for us. So are you wondering how do we kind of...
How do you... So, S-sha, the battle mode when you're fighting in battle and stuff like that, there's a lot of emotion and stuff that comes out sometimes. The same with, I imagine with League and also WoW, whenever you're like, ah, and stuff like that. I heard once, I believe Ruben Langdon told me that he would loop his thumbs in his belt loop, so he wouldn't, when he was like getting into doing Kin Masters and Street Fighter, he wouldn't hit anything. Do you have anything you do, or do you have like, is it all in the shoulders, or?
I think for me, it's like all in my stance. I'll stand a certain way. Like for S-sha, I had this more like kind of cool slanted stance, and I was thinking, well, she's very cool and very, very aloof. And I thought, well, just kind of stand more like I stood with like my hip out, and I was putting my hand on my hip, and that really helped me get into character and not really like punch things or anything. There's some games where I actually like punched the air, but I didn't do it like in front of the mic. I just kind of did it like
just to put that guttural oomph in it, right?
Yeah, but I can't even speak, but I try to put, I'm very physical when I record.
Bring physicality into
the physicality, that's the word. But I try not, it's good not to punch the mic, because sometimes those mics are way more expensive than people are. So,
you don't want to get a tab for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to keep working.
Oh yeah. Is there any dream role that if you got that role, you'd be satisfied in your career? You could end it tomorrow if you had that role today.
So there's a show called Sailor Moon, and that show was the show that got me into anime. I auditioned for it when they had Sailor Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. I auditioned for that, and I know they have one more season left. So I know there's some Star Guardians. I think it's the Star Guardians. I would love to be like. Oh gosh, I think it was Starlight or something like that. I forgot. Starfighter. I would love to be Sailor Starfighter.
Starfighter uses a sword, right?
I think so. But she has like black hair, like this really cool mullet and rat tail. Like, she's cool. Like, I love her.
That's awesome.
But yeah. Or like anybody in Sailor Moon, really. That'd be cool.
For sure. If it's like the series that got you into anime, yeah, you're like, I don't care who I am, really. Just get me in there.
As long as I'm in Sailor Moon, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are there any projects you have on the horizon, anything you can talk about? I understand there are NDAs sometimes.
Oh, gosh. I have stuff, but I can't talk about it. But there is a podcast. I can mention that. Me and my friend Erin Fitzgerald, she's another voice actor. She voices in Skullgirls, League of Legends, and Neptunia Noir. We decided to put together a podcast dedicated to Overwatch because we're both very addicted. It's called Waifus of Overwatch. And so far we're on episode, I believe, episode 3. We already had a couple of the voice actors. We had the voice of Reinhardt and the voice of Torbjorn on there already. So we have more episodes coming, and it's a really fun podcast, so I can talk about that.
And that's where the news will first come out whenever it does for any other projects. Awesome.
Yes.
And what is that on? Is it SoundCloud, iTunes?
Well, there's an actual website for it. It's just called Waifus of Overwatch. So Waifus of Overwatch.
Nice. Awesome. And then do you have any goals of where you want to see yourself in 5 years? Any other roles you want to knock out? Like anything? Do you have a plan? Do you have anything you're like, I am?
Yeah, well, I just hope to keep working. Like, I think that's just my real concrete plan is to keep working and hope to just work on more projects. And my end goal is to, like, be on Mass Effect. Like, that's my baby. Or a Final Fantasy game, too.
They'll keep making them. It's never the final one, it seems.
Yep. So it's mostly just to keep working, hopefully. Crossing fingers for more work.
Cool. And then the first time you watched an anime or were around when someone was playing a video game you did a voice in, tell me, what was it like when your voice was coming up on screen through the speakers?
Oh, gosh. So there's a show that I really loved called Magi. And when it was season 2, I voiced a character named Orban that I call him the anime version of Rufio from Hook. And so I heard myself alongside with my friend Christina B. and Daryl Gilbo, who voiced the My Enemy character, who was Hakuryu. And just hearing the voices kind of like, hearing everything come out together, like you're voicing with like I was voicing with Matthew Mercer and everybody else. It was very overwhelming because these are people I looked up to, and now my voice is
right among the
alongside
peers.
them. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. And it was just like overwhelming, huh? You're like,
Yeah, like this is a thing.
did you find yourself checking your pulse or anything?
A little bit, because there are a lot of people, like Todd Habercombe was in it too, and it's like, okay. Vic Mignogna was in it as well.
Everybody, huh?
Everybody.
Yeah, it was Mad Guy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And for everyone out there, do you want to tell your fans who may have missed this, your Twitter handle?
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is Danielle MCBO. So yeah, that name came out of nowhere, really.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can understand what it means.
Yeah.
And then is there anything else you'd love to tell your fans who couldn't make it out here this weekend?
Well, I'm sad you guys couldn't make it out, but I had fun for all of you that couldn't make it out. So a lot of fun here. Hope to see you another convention.
Speaking of other conventions, do you have anything scheduled that you can talk about for the next month or two? Any other cons you're appearing at yet, or is it?
I have one late November. I think it's Thanksgiving weekend. It's Tomodachi Fest. I think it's going to be Boise, Idaho. And then I have another con, my very last con. It's in West Virginia called Anime or AMA Cosplay Fest. And that's pretty much the end of December going into
You're going everywhere.
Yeah.
East Coast.
And that's
Midwest.
the end of my tour for the year.
That's fine. I mean, there's only a few months left, right?
Yeah.
We're about to be in November, so that's a good amount.
Yeah.
Two for the last 2 months.
Yep.
I think that's all the questions I have for you today.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're in a rush. You got to go check out Seattle while you're here.
Yeah.
This is S-sha, and I'm not interested in this podcast.